My name is Judy and I'm here from Myler Bits to help riding warehouse customers select the right Myler bit for their horse. The Myler levels are set up as level 1, 2, 2, 3, and 3. And as you go up in Myler level of mouthpiece, you're actually going softer and not harsher. In order to figure out where your horse belongs as a Myler level, ask yourself 2 questions about your horse. One is about your horse's personality. So is your horse very bold and challenging, or flighty and anxious, or somewhere in the middle and very steady and trustworthy? The more steady and trustworthy your horse is, generally speaking, the more tongue relief that horse can mentally handle. If your horse tends to be bold and challenging, or flighty and anxious, you might need to consider a slightly lower level of Myler mouthpiece just to give you a little bit more control. When you start a horse, and starting a horse that's never been bitted, we recommend starting at level 2. The reason we recommend level 2 is because it will act very similar to a level 1 mouthpiece in terms of tongue pressure, and it'll apply a fair amount of tongue pressure to teach your horse to give to the bit. But it also rewards your horse with a little bit of tongue relief, which a level 1 mouthpiece won't do. It's an excellent place to start if you also don't know the horse very well, or the horse has been laid up for a long time, or the horse has been ridden in a regular standard single-jointed snaffle for an extended period of time. The second question to ask yourself about your horse is, what kind of spook does my horse have? If your horse barely spooks or spooks in place when something unusual happens, that's a horse with really good self-control. If your horse has a big spook, or a spook where he leaves you behind, that's a horse with very poor self-control, and obviously they have to be bitted differently. The rule of thumb is if your horse is good 98% of the time, then bit for the other 2%, because you can always ride softer. If you have a really steady horse with intermediate to advanced training, and he seems to be progressing but he's resisting the bit, then consider level 2-3. The level 2-3 bits are going to offer varying degrees of tongue relief and may or may not have some tongue pressure depending on the design. If your horse is very steady, is what you would consider a finished horse. And by finished, in the performance world, we would say that that horse has mastered the technical skills in your sport and is a very consistent performer and obedient. In the trail world, we would say that's a horse that can go out on the trail alone, is trustworthy in unusual situations, and can handle obstacles reliably. Then that finished horse could go to a level 3 mouthpiece. Level 3 mouthpieces are going to offer a lot of tongue relief with little to no tongue pressure, and that means the horse has to be capable of handling the responsibility. To sum up the Myler system, the most important thing to remember is that bits can only do one of 2 things. A bit can either cause resistance or it can encourage relaxation. The goal with Myler bits is to find that mouthpiece that will help your horse relax into the bridle and listen to what you're asking him to do so he can learn better. If you think of your horse as a child, and it's a child going through school, when your horse starts off grade school and he's first learning to ride, he's really learning a lot of information. But as he educates himself and as you educate him, he's going to need more and more advanced tools to learn the new lessons that you're teaching him. That's how the Myler system is set up, through level 2 through 3, with increasing tongue relief, decreasing tongue pressure, to reward your horse for learning the lessons that you're trying to teach him. For more detailed information on Myler bits, visit ridingwarehouse.com.